This is the Out of Time Film Podcast, where your hosts Tom and John discuss everything from blockbuster films to TV and games like there's no tomorrow.
Hello and welcome to the Out of Time Film Podcast. I'm Tom.
I'm John.
And this week we are talking about The Wild Robot.
What a year for animation. I'm so happy to be on this timeline where animation gets more recognition. We had some incredible ones like Transformers 1, The Boy and the Heron. I'm going to count that because it's technically a year ago.
Yeah,
so,
I think it counts.
And Spider-Verse, well, that's 2 years ago. But anyway, in recent years, I would say that we had some amazing animation. And without doubt, I'd say The Wild Robot is definitely up there for one of the best animation films I've seen.
I would agree. I think every time we talk about animated films, I feel like I always say it. Spider-Verse changed the game, man.
Spider-Verse.
It really was cataclysmic what that film did. And I think at the forefront of the changes that we have seen has been DreamWorks. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. We didn't talk about it on the pod, but it was phenomenal. It's one of the best films ever. That's right, I'm saying it. It would be in my top 100. And like I've seen a lot of movies, so that's quite high praise.
Okay.
But then you have Kung Fu Panda 4, which we did do a video on and wasn't nearly as good. And so it's interesting because you kind of felt like DreamWorks were going to pioneer these new styles and these new ways of making films and really telling something new. But Kung Fu Panda was the clear worst of that franchise and barely had any of that emotion or heart. And then The Wild Robot. I'm gagged. I am lost for words.
I'm with you. We didn't hear each other's opinions. It's the same to us when we don't listen to other reviews. But this, in particular, I heard this film was getting so many positive reviews. And I was like, okay, wait for a treat. I'll keep my opinions to myself and I'll form it after the movie. And they were right. They were absolutely right. This was such a treat to watch on a Monday. Just, I don't know, like on a Monday, I'm just like watching this on the super screen by myself, which is great because it'll pick you up and you're like, oh my god, I watched a movie on my Monday. Movie Mondays.
Love a movie Monday. Come on.
I'll love a movie Monday.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I tell you what, just as an aside, yesterday I watched The Last Jedi at the cinema.
Hey.
Oh my god, it just like nothing comes close. One day we will talk about that. I'm sure that will be a dumpster fire in the comments.
That would be a dumpster fire, yeah.
But The Wild Robot is so interesting because my experience was I was waiting outside the cinema and I saw all the kids and their families going in and I just thought to myself, God, this is going to be an excruciating cinematic experience. Kids are going to be yelling, kids are going to be running around, and it was a packed cinema. And
oh my god, wow, okay.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as the film started though, everything melted away and it was just me and this film that is just a work of beauty. It is so many things that I hold close to me, like the themes of family and love and acceptance and kindness. It's such a magical film, and there has never been, genuinely, never, ever been a film that has drawn such an emotion out of me.
I'm getting emotional. Oh my god.
We will get into that. You have no idea.
Oh my god. Wow. Okay. I thought I was the most emotional
yeah.
one. I was like,
man. Oh man.
Yeah.
I saw this film with my partner, and at the end, she turned to me and she was like, "Are you okay? Is bro all right?" I was a wreck.
Right.
In all the best ways, this film really, really hit the emotional beats that I think timeless animation gets. Like WALL-E or Fantastic Mr. Fox. There's plenty to choose from. And wow, what a picture, man.
I gotta say, straight off the bat, I want to talk about the whole animation. It had so much to say because the whole story is centered around nature, the wilderness, and just feels like moving art with the pictures. It feels like there's a certain flow that the movie does. It's playful, but it has dark undertones as well. It reminds me of The Last Wish in ways. I don't know if that's the same studio. I mean, it's DreamWorks, but is it the same animation company?
Yeah, no, it almost looks like paintbrush strokes in so many different ways. One of the things I really liked about this film was how it conveyed time, and the wild robot herself, Roz, over the course of the film, she becomes more and more run down and covered in moss and scratches and scrapes, and it's really beautiful to behold how this film paints the wilderness and the seasons. We have a whole sequence that's set in the winter, in the snow, in a massive blizzard, and the sun and the sky and the water. I just marveled at it the whole time. It looked amazing.
Yeah. One thing that fascinated me was the flow of time in the story. Like, you
Yeah.
weren't even phased. You feel out of place with the time because it goes by the change of seasons, the change of the course of nature. It's like how the movie manipulates our viewing in a very smart way of, not throwing us off. The movie does this at the beginning where Roz, she doesn't really understand what the animal is saying, and then she goes into like this cocoon trying to learn all the information what the animals are saying. And that's a brilliant device just to get a robot to hear animals. It doesn't feel like it's cheating its way to like get famous actors to talk as animals. The pacing was excellent to have that as well, like with the time. The movie does this at the beginning as well, where it throws everything at you and then you get to slow down.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's such a brilliant device how they give an excuse to the animal speaking. I know a lot of people, I think rightfully so, a lot of people wanted it to be a film with minimal dialogue. They wanted that kind of Wall-E thing where it's all visual storytelling, and there is much of that, absolutely. But nonetheless, they really make the idea that the animals talk work. We talked when we did Transformers 1 about the casting, and you cast celebrities in this role, people who aren't actually voice actors, and can that sometimes just feel like stunt casting? And genuinely, not at all does this film have that problem. If you'd have told me that this was Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, Kit Connor, I would not have noticed at all.
Yeah, same.
And
Shout out to them.
yeah.
I would not notice that. Oh my God, that's Pedro
Yeah,
Pascal.
right. I know, like, Lupita Nyong'o, can I just
Excellent.
say, is having a great year. Quiet Place Day 1 was phenomenal. This is phenomenal. Apparently, Gladiator 2 is phenomenal. So Pedro Pascal is also having a brilliant year. As is Kit Connor as well. He's doing stuff on stage and he's got another season of Heartstopper. It's brilliant to see all these people who bring such emotion to their roles through their voices and are also unrecognizable. I wasn't just thinking, oh, that's Lupita Nyong'o. I was thinking she actually embodies in her voice this robot who begins to feel things, but at the same time has a processing core and wants to figure things out herself. I think that stuff really works. And even there are some other characters who pop up, like Bill Nye is in this film. And from the whole time being like, who's that? Who's that? And then the end is like, oh, it's Bill Nye! And there's another
Bill Nye,
character.
the science guy. It's him.
No, John, no, it's a different guy.
What?
It's
What do you
Davy
mean?
Jones.
What?
Aren't you afraid to get wet?
Oh.
And also Ving Rhames shows up, and I was like, who's this guy playing this hawk? And it's Ving Rhames. It's just, obviously that's not, more goes into it than just being like, I recognize this actor, but they held such power and such presence, and I can see you hysterically laughing. What's going on?
I thought you meant Bill Nye, the science guy.
No,
No,
John. Bill Nye, the actor, the Oscar-nominated actor, Bill Nye. I'm so sorry.
just continue. Just continue while I'm trying to get my thoughts gathered together, man.
Well, I want to kind of talk about what you're saying about the pacing of this film. I think it is perfect for the most part. You are kind of really thrown into this world, and I would have preferred a bit of a slower start. I didn't want this film to be like Wall-E, but if you compare this to Wall-E, which is a masterpiece, the brilliant thing about Wall-E is that you start off slow. It doesn't feel slow, but you do kind of, you just get to see Wall-E going about his day, and it's really important building this. Whereas we start off basically with a montage of Roz trying to communicate and help all these animals, right? And I think that maybe we shouldn't have started with a montage. Maybe we should have kind of gone a bit slower. And the fact that we then slow down is brilliant. And I really like the idea that you kind of settle into this film. Like Roz settles into her place in the story, we too settle in. And I don't know who the editor was on this film, but holy moly, they were just on fire. I think the keyboard
Yeah.
might have actually been on fire because, wow, the use of montage in this film is incredible. There are numerous examples of montages that feel so emotionally powerful, working together with the direction, working together with the voice acting, working together with the sound and the score. John, you know me. Anyone who knows me, I do not cry at things. I struggle to cry. I bawled my eyes out at the Wild
Oh
Robot.
my God.
Genuinely, the first major montage where Bright Bill is learning how to fly, I was weeping.
That is cinema.
It
It's funny.
was cinema.
I didn't cry at that.
You didn't cry
did.
at that. What the
No,
hell?
this is motivational. I really love this. And
Yeah.
everyone listen here. I am the most emotional out of this podcast right here. And I cried at some parts of the movie, but hearing you, I'm like, oh my God.
Genuinely,
we got a
I was-
contender. We got a contender for number one film of the year.
Okay, right. Let's just we're gonna go
Let's
into
get in.
spoilers because I really want to just kind of talk about how this film hit me. So many moments throughout where you see Roz and Bright Bill form this relationship and Roz become this mother figure. There's so many beautiful little tiny moments, like when Bright Bill really wants to put the tiny little sticks on the tree to make it feel like he's helping.
Yeah.
And it's so cute. It's so wonderful. Then to see him grow up and to see them have the very understandable conflict of how his family died, that was brilliant. But then to see, despite everything, her work day and night to try and make him fly. And the music was brilliant. The same song they used in the trailer, actually. And I didn't expect it to go so incredibly hard. And so to see him finally do it against all the odds, it's something that I feel everyone can relate to. This idea of you're not good enough and you can't do simple tasks that everybody else can do. And you try tirelessly and you finally get it right. And you feel like even something simple, like I was ridiculed for years because I couldn't click with my fingers. I couldn't snap my fingers. And I spent years trying to get it right. And I remember I went away on holiday and I spent all holiday just trying to get it right, just trying to get it right. And then eventually I got it. And now I've been able to do it for years. And I remember when I came back to school from that holiday and my friends were like, you can't click. And I was like, yes, I can. And it fills you with such like pride that you've managed to do something like that. You know, one evening I decided to learn how to juggle and now I can juggle. And I just think that like seeing that encapsulated in a montage done so well and so beautifully, and all of that kind of also climaxes in the migration and the scene where this is really emotional, where Roz chases after all of the are they geese? What are they? Are they geese?
I'm sorry to ruin this. It's just the way that you said it. It was like,
are they geese?
Geese?
Like Patrick Stewart's Macbeth, where he just says geese. Were they geese? Is that what they were?
Are they geese?
I think they're geese, right? Let's say they're geese.
They're geese then. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
The geese fly away and Roz is chasing them to the edge of the island and Bright Bill circles back and she catches his feather just as he leaves. And oh my God, I can't imagine watching this film as a parent. Can you imagine the extra level of devastation that would give you? I can't even begin to comprehend. I was emotionally wrecked by this as it was. I can't even.
Oh man, that was a really powerful moment to watch. Seeing all of the geese that fly into the sunset while Roz has to say goodbye, and it's emotionally heartbreaking. Roz has done everything to make him fly. This robot trying to find purpose in the wilderness, and it's like the wilderness has so many things and so many ecosystems. There's so many layers to it, but then it's like a robot that's trying to help geese. I'm sorry, Patrick Stewart. That's coming in my head now. Geese.
Patrick Stewart needs to be in the sequel just because of the geese.
Geese!
Can I just say, this is an inside joke between us, where in an adaptation of Macbeth, Patrick Stewart says geese, and we thought it was very funny. But can you imagine if he didn't say geese, and we've been laughing about this all these years, and now we're putting it on the internet, and someone's going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? He never says geese.
Why these guys
Shakespeare never wrote geese.
What, you egg? That's Macbeth, guys. And man, the visual storytelling goes so hard in this movie. As you mentioned, you could definitely tell that they went to using minimal dialogue and trying to show off the beautiful world and the forest and the whole island as well is just incredible. It's just this beautiful journey of this robot that is trying to feel something, and it gets more emotional as the story continues. You know, she's trying to develop. I gotta say, that's one of the best development I've seen from a character all the way throughout the movie. You just cared so much.
The moment that Roz said, "I'm a wild robot," I cried again, John. It got me again.
Oh my God, the best movie of 2020. That counts.
It's right up there with Optimus Prime saying, "I am Optimus Prime" in Transformers 1. I just felt so fulfilled in that moment. And it's like the whole idea of this film, as you said, Roz gets purpose and we see the emotion is more powerful than programming. And I think that it's something that we can apply to everything. We as humans have our programming. We have roles in society that we do and are expected to fulfill. But we also have things that bring us more fulfillment, more emotion. Something like raising a child is one of the most, allegedly, one of the most fulfilling things that you can do. And that is brilliant. And I think that it's great to see this community come together. I love how this film deals with payoffs. There isn't a scene wasted in here, especially at the end when all the animals come together. We really expect certain things from all of them, like the bear. We think that the bear is going to be, he's a predator, he's dangerous, but he becomes a protector and he becomes a friend, and that is brilliant. And even something tiny like the beaver, like the tree becomes massively impactful for everyone banding together and saving their home. It's wonderful. It's not like the robot solves all their problems. No, they also come together. At the same time with Bright Bill learning his own independence and getting to that point where he can lead the flock back to the island. It's all so brilliantly constructed. And I think it has this beating heart of Bright Bill and Roz. And here's the third time I cried, John. It was right at the end.
Three times?
That's right. Genuinely, you are looking at an emotional wreck right now. I really lost it.
I don't know what to say. I don't know. That's more times than...
I have never cried at a film this much. That is generally why this film is going to be so important to me moving forward. This isn't my favorite film of all time. It's not even my favorite film of the year, but I have never cried so much at a film. Does that show my emotional maturity? What does it show? I don't know, but it shows this film hit me and it will carry an importance to me. And I don't care. Film's going to have any kind of technical issues or, pacing or acting. But if a film gets you emotionally, or a TV show or a video game, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's issues with it. It doesn't matter if there's an objective thing wrong with it. It's always about how it makes you feel. And this film made me feel. The moment at the end when Roz has to go away because she knows they will never stop looking for her, and all the animals have to say goodbye, and Bright Bill has to say goodbye, and also the fox, what's his name?
Think?
Or something. Think, yeah. Think has to say goodbye as well. Really powerful stuff. And to have that final montage of the film, we see Roz and Bright Bill finding each other again, and my God, I just lost it again. It was just so emotional. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was so brilliant. It's the kind of thing that normally it takes me years of loving a film to get to the point where I'm going to cry. As I said, I watched Last Jedi yesterday. When I first watched that, dry eyes. But watching it yesterday, tears were flowing. That's taken me 7 years to culminate that. Wild Robot, first time round, bam, it's right there. And it was such a brilliant experience to feel these things. I think that everyone involved in the film just crafted this beautiful thing that made me feel so much. And I'm so happy that they did.
Yeah, I'm the same boat as you. Like how they've done the payoff at the end of the movie was just so beautiful. Really reminded me of all the things that made me emotional. It's just like that hits that perfect note. They know how to do such an emotional peak for that. Like all the reasons, you're always seeing throughout the story, and it creates this amazing emotional peak. And stories that has this like existential feeling, like robots, and with sci-fi, how humanity finds its purpose. But with robots, it's like finding purpose. But it's like, how did they find something that they can't feel, which is love? And it was so impactful, for the ending to see. Well, all the stuff that I read, they all connected to love, and that's why I'm so emotional about all those stories that have such a emotional thing, because it all relies on love. It's just incredible how this movie captures that. It just left me speechless. I was like, oh my God, that might be one of the best things I've watched. On the super screen, by the way. Watch it on the bigger screen, please do. Because you get to hear the sounds, you get to see all the great style.
Yeah, like the film
I'm trying to do the Scorsese thing.
Oh, he did it. His hands are up. Oh, beautiful. What a moment. The film is about love and loneliness and finding love and having an obligation to love. Like Fink as a character is incredibly lonely and wants to feel love and wants to feel close to people, but also he pushes people away. Outwardly, he is very much like, no, I don't have a duty to anyone, but really he cares, and that is so beautiful. I just like, wow. I mean, it really speaks to how amazing we have had for animation that I wish I could say this is the best animated film I've seen in years. But I can't say that because we've had such good animated films. Like, wow. The art form has been consistently beautiful and impactful and emotional, and it's scratched so many itches and done so many things for different parts of me. And this isn't even our final thing of animation of the year. We have Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim coming up in a couple of weeks. And I am so thrilled to have this film. And it's actually my third favorite film of the year.
It is in my top 5. Man, I cannot wait to watch more films. I love movies. That's like one of the best things to like I wake up on a Monday morning. I'm like, damn, okay, gotta go to uni, do all this stuff and that. And then think about Wild Robot. I'm like, okay, I'll see how this goes. And then it's just like, that's the reason why I want to do filmmaking or talk about films, is just that alone. It just speaks on many volumes. We achieved peak once again. we
did it.
Oh my God. Wings of Power, Transformers 1, and we did this as well. Oh my God.
Yeah. Also Venom. We're recording this before the Venom pod,
yes,
but
and Venom.
Hopefully
yeah,
Venom was also peak. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Forgot about Venom.
The Wild Robot, what are you going to give it out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 9.
I agree. It has to be a 9.
It's almost close to a 10.
Yeah, it's so good. Thank you everybody for listening. If you're listening on YouTube and you enjoyed it, you can like and subscribe if you want to see more. And if you're listening on on Apple or Spotify, you can follow and give us a 5-star review if you think we're worthy. And next week, John, it's our first MCU thing in quite a while. It's Agatha all along. We're hitting the spooky vibes. How are you feeling about
Yes,
that?
the spooky. I haven't watched it yet, so I
Mhm.
can't say anything just yet.
Mhm.
I'm open. What, Agatha all along is going to be.
I'm having a lot of fun with the show, so I hope that it sticks the landing and we have good things to say about it next week. And you can send us an email at ourtimefilmpod@gmail.com. We'll be recording next Saturday. We'll be recording sometime. We'll be recording one day. Who knows?
We'll be recording. Yeah.
So you can let us know your thoughts on Agatha all
Yeah,
along
it'll be
by
fine.
then.
Give us some comments
Just
about
tell us.
Agatha.
And we'll
Tell
answer right here
us.
in the podcast next week.
Yes, and you can follow us on Instagram at Out of Time Film Pod to see incredible thumbnails from Zain Afzal, on Twitter for more thoughts from Tom and me, and TikTok to see edited clips, which are all also on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. And you can find links there all in the description below. Thanks to Jones-Meyer for the excellent theme and Ronan Phillips for vocals as always. And I think that's everything. Please do see this film.
Also, watch the Patrick Stewart Macbeth, which is set in the Cold War.
That's your
because
homework,
why
guys.
not?
That's your homework,
Yeah,
guys.
you gotta tell us
don't
whether
forget
he does say geese. It's been so many
geese.
years.
Here's the weird thing about memories and stuff. Why do they come back in such a weird time, right? Or you just be walking around, I don't know, down the street somewhere, right? And you're probably thinking about like, oh yeah, why did that happen in my memory? It's like I picked up that pencil.
Me, it's so
It's just
easy
very
to
weird.
leave me
And it's like, why do I remember that? Why did that come to me? Or you just be lying in bed and it'll be like some cringy memory or something like that. Yeah. Tom's right. He's singing.
I'm singing Cats.
And it's memory to you guys. What?
Mate, Cats. That song's from Cats. Do you not know that?
Take what you're given.
You have nothing back.
Goodbye.
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 For a new day has begun.
I forgot the song. Cats. Meow. Meow. Meow.
Oh dear.